Hello! Tonight, we hairy game lords have been playing this. Daimyo, Battle for Japan. What did we think? Find out! Hi, Dave the Grey. So, first off, this game is big. We've had a couple of practice goes so far to give you our first thoughts, and I think we're probably averaging 2.5 hours a turn, and it's a 6-player game. So if you like big games, this is for you. If you like 10-15 minute quick trick taking party games, probably not. Stay away. However, as you can probably tell from my smiley demeanour, this game is fundamentally awesome. I love it. Ticks so many boxes. So it is Dudes on a Map. If you like Dudes on a Map, you will love this. There is some bidding to see who goes first. And quite importantly, every single turn you have alliances. And these are shifting alliances, so I can't pick on James every turn. Unless my bidding goes well and I manage to put James into the opposing team every single time. So yeah, you bid to find out which side you're on. To start with, you have worker placement. You can recruit samurai. You can recruit cheap Ashigari spearmen that are just there to die, basically. You have handgunners. You've got all sorts of options for your worker placement bit. And then you've got the Dudes on a Map area control attacking each other. And because it's a 6-player, there is also an AI to make sure you have 6 players who can either be really vicious or quite defensive, or if you've got a double AI, maybe a bit of both. And the AI, he's worse than me for just like trying to be nasty to people. The aggressive one, which we used tonight, was harsh, shall we say, and didn't like me. I mean, not everybody's perfect.
There could only be one.
There can only be one Dave. However, yeah, loads of different stuff to it. It is essentially 3, I was going to say mini games, 3 fairly imposing games blended into one absolutely massive, chunky, night-filling behemoth of an awesome game. Love it. We will do another video with more in-depth thoughts, but the whole thing, just bidding to see which team you're on. Worker placement, I love a worker placement as well. And then Dudes on a Map, I love a Dudes on a Map. These guys, I'm sure, will start rattling on about the artwork, which is awesome. You do know that if you've watched previous games, I like a meeple. These aren't so much meeples as full-on models. Now, this is a demo version. These are 3D printed very, very nicely, I have to say. But they are practically perfect in every way. Gorgeous figures, massively imposing table presence without being too much of a stupid table. There are bigger games than this that we've played. It's big, but it would go on a decent type size table. There is something for everybody here, and it is just such a pleasure to play. The AI is really clever, logical. It goes in at, it will do this, it will do this, it will do this, without being too easy to predict. So the AI works really nicely without being too oppressive. Yeah, just a great, great game. Absolute pleasure to play. And thank you very much indeed for sending us a copy. I had my eye on it since Aircon. I saw it, looked awesome. And having got to play it, it absolutely lives up to every bit that I thought it would. So check this out on Kickstarter. It is absolutely immense. 2 thumbs up. Possibly 3 thumbs up if I had 3 thumbs. Thank you, Ange.
Hi there, it's Peter Hipster King with my first thoughts on Daimyo. My days, what a game. So, as Dave has already said, this is an absolute beast of a game in a really good way. So yeah, we played the first round twice now. Both times, I think it was 3.5 hours or so on the first play. Dave said 2 to 2. It was 3 hours tonight from the point where we started the game. It was about a 40-minute, half an hour to 40-minute setup. Again, that was our first time setting up without the help of one of the designers. So we were running from memory at that point, and had to do a rules. We had to teach the rules as well because we had a new player tonight. So there was a rules teaching there, but you've got 3 relatively simple games within this big game that Daimyo is. So the bidding game at the start, really, it's really nice trying to work out. So first of all, you get to choose 2 factions and place them in one of 3 possible alliances. So you might choose your own and somebody else, or you might choose 2 people that you don't want to be in an alliance with yourselves and put them down in one of the sets. You also get to choose in that area where they're going to be in the turn order between 1 and 6. So you all do that a few times until all of the spaces are filled for the 3 options, and then you start bidding on which alliance you like the look of most. And at the end of the bidding phases, there are up to 3 bidding sections, and you're bidding your own cash. So you've got to balance how much do I want with this with how much am I willing to spend, because that money is going to be needed later on when you get into the second phase of the game. So it's kind of, there's all this going on, and then the one, you then pick the alliance that's the best for you, and hopefully that's the one that will win. That then sets the turn order. Then you go on to your kind of, I'm moving here because the board's over here and I'm looking at the board to help me remember what I'm doing. Then you're going into your standard worker placement. Now, most people in the first, you have 5 workers in the first round, 6 in the second, 7th in the third, but depending on the territories that you've got, some of those come with additional workers. So you can go after increasing the number of workers by really carefully picking which regions you're going to try and control. And the worker placement, again, really simple worker placement. You're going to be spending money. Potentially on the territories that you own, they have got, there we go, they have got these icons. Different ones will have different icons. These can give you a discount on the actions that you're going to take, which is really, really nice. Take two koku, which is the rice money in this game, and you can be filling out your army deck with additional fighters so that you've got different units that you can take into battle. You can increase the number of warlords that you've got. Basically, that's giving you extra turns in the final battle phase. You can get more ships. You're going to need ships because you're going to be moving around the board, and to be able to access other regions that you can't get to, you can sail your units across if you've got enough ships. If you're going to go across by land, you're going to need supply trucks to be able to move your units across land. So you could go after supply trucks. You could go up one of the honor tracks by chasing down honor. Lots of things you can do but it's a standard worker placement game. Really, really simple. It's all about the strategy that is where the complexity lies in this. It's the choices you've got that make this a complex game. In itself, the rules aren't particularly complex. It's the fact that the level of strategy needed is where the thinking comes. And that's where I love this game, but I'm all right at it, but it's not in my strength. Then you move on to stage 3, where you're going to be battling out. You're going to be battling each other potentially, or you're just going to be battling for individual neutral regions where they'll have a set value that you've got to beat. But what I really like that just flicks it a little bit is there's an AI deck that adds or takes away defense value from that particular region that you're attacking. So you might think it's a 6. It could, depending on how you can set the levels in the game, you can, by choosing different number of cards. We were playing from -1 to +2. So that 6 could be as low as a 5. It could be as high as an 8. So you've got to decide, am I going to really push for this and put 9 or 10 in? But that's a lot of cards, and you're using all your best cards fighting for that. How much do I value that particular place? And the final part of the battle, which I really liked, is you've got friends and enemies around the table who can potentially add or take away. They can add to yours by being loyal, or if they're your enemies, they can potentially support one of their defense, one of their other team in defending, and make their their value stronger. So there's a whole lot of unknowns in this game when you're trying to work out what cards to play, what to hold on for later to try and amass as much table as area control as you can. Brilliantly designed game. Absolutely loved it. Massive thumbs up. The only issue is first few games, it's going to be 5-6 hours realistically, and that, so be aware of that. I reckon you can get it. We've been told it can definitely get down to 3 if you've played it regularly as our group. But first few times you play this, be prepared to set aside a day. We didn't, and we played around.
Oh yeah, Slightly Beardy James. Right, Peter's bang on. This game is all about the strategy. It's a lot of stuff which comes together really nicely to kind of make something which is all about great strategic decisions. Man, the first thing I thought when I saw this game come out on the table and I heard all the story that was going behind it and all of the kind of history that would fed into it is Shogun Total War. I'm a huge fan of Shogun because it was the original and I played a lot of it. Love the campaign mode. This is basically campaign mode. It's a love letter to Shogun Total War, in my opinion. And I really like that. I love the theme of Japan. But it's a frustrating one for me because I just didn't hit home for me this game. And
What?
I know! And I've not voiced my opinion until just now because of the bullying that's going to ensue. But I just felt like it was way too long. Now, bear in mind, this is my first thoughts. And we have been learning the AI today, but oh my goodness. The strength of this game is it can bring 6 players and it works. Well, in fact, it needs 6 players. 6 active players on the board. If Martin was here tonight, maybe it would be a different story, but we had AI Martin. And AI Martin, took a lot of working out, a lot of running, and I've played AI on my own. I do a lot of solo, and I'm very much at home with AI and working out all that kind of stuff. If you are new to AI, this might be daunting to you, but with the group, I found there was just a lot of dead time waiting for kind of stuff to happen or people making decisions. I wish this game would hit home better for me. I think there are a lot of kind of really clever kind of design decisions. I really like the way that you start off by kind of forming your alliances, and the way that it's done is through kind of proposing potential alliances, and then you bid on that. For me personally, I don't know, I wasn't too fussed as to who I was allied with because I was going to see how it lay and then kind of make up my choices from there. But you can throw money at it, and a few of us around the table just burn our money on that instead of on troops. So I don't know. I think my lasting feeling from this game is it just didn't feel streamlined. And maybe it's because we were kind of working out the AI and it was a learning game for me, but it felt long. And I mean, there are three rounds, 3 turns in the game, but it took us a long time to do this first turn. So if that's your kind of game, go for it. I do like a long game, but this one it felt clunky. And I can also see why there's so much good stuff in it as well. Please love me after all of this.
Ange, the bearded lady here. I love this game. James. So, just so much great stuff about this game. Let's start here with the box art. Ooh, so nice. Excellent stuff. The board is big, it's kind of colourful, all the different provinces, not territories, provinces that are around. You've got these kind of dual-layered, so like components is really nice. You've got dual-layered movement. So these are what are these little things? Little carts for moving overland, the boats for moving across the sea. There's a variant in there as well where you can have like naval battles, which is really cool. We didn't play that. You can get involved with. Check out these massive dudes. Holla! This was my guy, Horny. And this is somebody else's. So what's really cool is you can add throughout this game. There's different elements that are kind of modular that can be added in or taken out. We were like, let's lump it all in. Again, it might be another reason why James struggled. But James, did you
did you come first?
I came third.
Third. It was quite a long way
On
behind.
our first round.
Which was a learning game. Anyway, what I find really cool is that you've got these characters. These characters are based on history, and in fact, this game is so in the theme and the thematic that's running through is amazing. So you go into fight with one of your dudes. You go in with the captain. If he gets killed, you flip over the card, and different things happen. Your gameplay changes. The AI that we were playing with, and last week Martin played as the character. His initial character was amazing, really strong in battle, because in reality, in history, his character was really strong in battle. But if he got killed, then his son takes over, who is absolutely pants and makes really rubbish decisions. And so, you have that choice. Do you take your captain into battle? If you do and you win, you're going to get victory points. Good times. After all, that's how you win the game. But if you lose, then you're going to be wounded and you're going to face a slightly harder game in how to win going forwards. If again you die again, then you're going to lose even. You're not going to be able to have any of those benefits at all on the cards. So there's loads of stuff going on. I really enjoyed it. Yes, there's obviously downtime in waiting for Pete to work through what the heck he's going to do on his go, even though he's had the cards in front of him. There's always going to be those players in your group, and with a play...
To be fair, it's not usually me.
That's true.
Let's
It
be
is
honest,
true.
it's, usually you and I are already 3 turns ahead of ourselves.
That's very true. That is very true.
Bad game today. Apologies, everyone.
It's usually me.
It is usually
I
Dave.
think I was probably sat in Dave's seat.
Yeah, that was it. Yeah, if you've got to ask whose turn it is, it's Dave's turn. So, but yeah, for me, I'm excited about coming back to this game. Obviously, when we've got longer time, we have played 2 sessions of this game on just the first round. There are 3 rounds in total. I think that the strategy will transform and change as alliances change through each round, and that just as more and more locations become available. Dan and I did really well on the first round this time round. We got really into the lead, but in doing that, it meant that coming into the second round, we got a massive target on us because we were doing so well in terms of the provinces that we got. So people would be gunning for us, and those alliances will be changing. And so therefore, actually, the bidding on alliances, perhaps more money will be put into the second bidding phase, and even more money on the third bidding phase. And we have yet to discover how that works out for us. But from the first initial plays that we've done, I absolutely love this game so much. There's so much to it. For me, it doesn't feel slow. I was planning through what goes I was doing next. Do that next time, Pete. And yeah, and so I didn't feel like the downtime at all that obviously Mastermind James felt.
My brain just goes so fast.
That's what it is. That's what it is. Love this game. Check it out. Get involved. Do it.
Dan here. I love strategy games. I'm just not very good at them. My favourite aspect
you
to
came
this.
first.
My favourite aspect to this game is everything has a counter. Everything seems really good at first, but then there's something in the game that gives you a sort of thing. It's a great game. You should get it. Go for it.